This video will show you how to manipulate your data in the current response sheet without having to make a copy or download it as an Excel document. One thing I want to make sure that it's extremely important to understand is that link that you were that was shared with you in order to get the students to your survey. Anytime a student uses that link, the data is always going to come into this form response 1 sheet. So this is a sheet that I would highly recommend that you really don't change and just make copies of the components or the rows and the columns of the data that you need. What I mean by making a copy of the data that you want, when you take a look at the information, you're probably going to want to separate it out a couple of different ways. Maybe it's by course, maybe it's by class, maybe it's by the actual criteria question. That will be completely up to you, but I'm going to show you a couple of ways, or I'm going to show you how you can copy this information and then make additional sheets in order to manipulate your data. On the bottom left-hand corner there is a plus symbol, and it gives you an option to add a sheet. Go ahead and click on that plus. What that does is it gives you a blank sheet. Now, we are working in a spreadsheet or a spreadsheet workbook, and this particular workbook you can add as many sheets as you need in order to gather all your data. I'm actually going to take this sheet and I'd like to organize my information as quarter 1 and quarter 2. So I'm just going to rename the sheet quarter 1 and add another sheet quarter 2. Go back to the original form responses, and I'm going to copy the data from quarter 1 and paste it into the quarter 2 sheet, and copy the data from quarter 2 and paste that into the quarter 2 sheet. In order to copy your data, you'll want to select the rows of the information that you want to copy. So I'm just clicking on my numbers on the left hand side, clicking and dragging, and then I'll copy, or Control C. Go into quarter 1. I'm going to paste that into row 2, because in row 1 I want to put my header row information. Come back to form response 1. Let's copy that header row. So I'm going to right click or click once on the number 1. I'll right click and copy, or Control C to copy. Come back into the quarter 1 sheet and paste. Now I have my information for quarter 1, or maybe it's semester 1, whatever works best for you. You could also do it by courses. Maybe you want a sheet your first block class. So the data that I would want to pull might just be from my first block class. Again, I would take the data just for that first block, select the rows with just my block information or my class information, and then I could paste that. Let's take a look at manipulating the data within the sheet. Again, we've copied our information from our original form response 1, and now we're in a sheet that we can change and move and flip-flop and highlight, and this particular sheet will not affect any of the information coming into your form responses. Alright, one of the items that's very handy in both Google and also in Microsoft Excel is the filter button. If you go into data, there's an option that says filter view. Go ahead and create a new filter view. What that will do is it will identify that first row with your timestamp and all your questions as what we call a header row. It will then give you these nice little down arrows which give you some sorting and filtering options. If you click the down arrow in one of the cells, you'll notice that you have the option to sort A to Z or Z to A. You can also sort by a condition, or simply just filter out information. So let's say I just want to look at only the numbers or only the information that agrees. So I can take the check mark off, strongly agree, click OK, and it will filter out, and it'll give me the opportunity to just see those that agree within this particular column. Notice that this icon kind of has a nice green little filter. In order to bring back my data, I can either clear or select all. Again, you can sort it, you can filter it. It is by column. Another thing teachers have asked is there a way to change the block 1, 2, 3, 4, or the period 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the course name. Yeah, there is. This would be the way. I would filter out all of my block 2 or period 1, go in and on the first cell change the name, press enter, and then come back and use the fill handle or copy and paste that down to all of your course names. Clear that filter. Let's say block 3. This is the course name for my block 3. And I'll clear that filter. And block 4. Now it's showing me all my block 4. And again, I can change the name and fill that down. So again, this filter option, great for sorting, great for filtering out. In addition, let's say we've sorted and we want a quick count of the number that I've filtered out. If you select the cells on the bottom right hand corner, your computer will give you a count of the information that you've selected. Again, you can go and do that same sort of information or those same sorts of changes in your quarter 2 or what other sheets that you might have created. Other ways that you might manipulate your data is removing a column. So this timestamp really doesn't do much for me. I don't need the information. It doesn't have any influence on the data that I'm collecting. So if I right click on the letter A and choose delete column, it gives me the option to delete, and now that column is gone. Another feature that you might be interested in using is the highlight. Let's say you'd like to identify all of those in a specific category. And the data that I'm showing, I have a number of strongly agree, and a few neutral. So here let's highlight neutral. I'd like to use the find. So in the edit menu, there's a find and replace. I'm going to type in neutral. See if I can have the computer find it for me. Once it finds the word for you, you may close the find and replace. Then select which color you would like to highlight with. Great. Now you've seen a few ways of taking the original response sheet, adding additional sheets so that you can manipulate your data. If you have additional questions or would like to dive in a little bit deeper using the spreadsheet features, please feel free to give me a call. Thanks for watching.